Hi, welcome to the Property Playbook. Each week, we tackle the headaches that keep landlords up at night and uncover strategies that turn those headaches into healthy returns. If you have tenant troubles or you just need tax tips, we're here to give you sharp insights, practical solutions, and maybe just enough humor to remind you that owning real estate is not just stress and spreadsheets. I am the host today, Peter Carlseen with Praecelsus Property Management, broker here in sunny San Diego, California. I'm joined with a couple of my favorite property managers, Elaina Morrison and Jazmin Taylor. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So I wanted to start out and do just a quick intro on maybe who you are and how long you've been in the business, maybe a quick 30-second intro. Why don't we start with Jazmin?
So I've been a property manager for 2 years, and I'm also a real estate agent.
Awesome. Thank you. Elaina.
Great. So I've been with the company for almost 11 years now. It's my only experience in real estate. Started as a back office assistant, and here I am today, and it's been a fun ride.
Fun. That's a good word to describe it. Always something new and exciting. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what the state of the market is, because it's been a little bit different the last 18 months or so. We're starting to see properties sit a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. We're starting to see kind of fewer people out there moving. People are kind of stuck in place right now. People are kind of stuck in place right now. So as the market continues to evolve, it's important that landlords know what to expect and how to adapt to this kind of changing market. As far as pricing goes, what are you seeing, Jazmin, in the world of pricing and rentals?
I would recommend that owners don't do such a big increase with the tenants that they already have already. I feel that it's better to keep good tenants in place rather than kind of test the waters with how high you can increase it. So more of a conservative increase would be best.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Okay. What are your thoughts on that, Elaina?
Lower increases is what I've been seeing common right now, if any rent increase at all. As far as marketing new properties, when you're looking for a new tenant, because like the slowdown that you mentioned, we're recommending to owners that we not be aggressive in price so that we're not having that continual drop in price, which reflects poorly on marketing when tenants are looking, because now they're wondering what's wrong, what's bringing the price down, why is it sitting so long? So that's kind of like just don't be aggressive in your strategy right now.
Yeah, this may not be the best market. Yeah. So we're kind of in a slow market at a slow time of the year, and having it sit vacant is usually not the best strategy. Yeah. If it's vacant, nobody's making any money. All right. As far as condition goes, Elaina, what would be your recommendation on prepping the property?
To do the most you can with the budget you have. Tenants' expectations now, their reflections in their mind are more perceived value of the property versus the price. So in a way, I kind of explain it like they want more bang for their buck, or at least perceived bang for their buck.
Okay.
The tenants are more price sensitive. So yeah, so I always recommend, make sure it's in the best condition possible so you can get as much as possible without being aggressive.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jazmin, anything to add to that?
Yes. I would also recommend that you ensure that your paint colors, the flooring, and amenities are all up to date, because that will help justify the price to prospective tenants that look at your property.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Going into some specifics there, you brought up coloring. Mm-hmm. Are there any colors that you've noticed that do well or that really don't do well in today's market?
Yes, I would say that stick with neutrals is the best way to go. Okay. And neutrals doesn't imply like no color at all. I'd say at least like you can do like a really calm blue or something like that, or even like a calm green, like just nothing that's bright and bold. And I would also avoid crazy wallpapers or anything like that.
Okay. And you've got experience in interior design.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, okay. So nothing too crazy, nothing too bold, but a little bit of color is definitely
yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Elaina, anything to add there?
Probably your appliances would be the next big thing. Is make sure your appliances, well, now we're seeing with new regulations that they're under 10 years or under. So check your appliances, make sure they're up to date, because dated appliances too detract from the look of the property that tenants are looking for. So it just helps brighten the kitchen up, make everything look updated, and they're not renting for a high amount, a low quality property.
Got it. Okay. And if the appliances are newer, hopefully that helps keep repair costs down for the owner. And there is, like you'd mentioned, new legislation that says that every property has to have a working refrigerator and stove. Stove is pretty common anyways, but working refrigerator, and they've got to be less than 10 years old. So that's a new thing. If you're a landlord, I recommend maybe picking up a couple extra refrigerators. You never know if you're going to need to get those replaced.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned, Jazmin, about wallpaper. I know some of the properties that we've managed, one of the highlights have been it's a former model home. And that is synonymous with wallpaper in the kitchen, wallpaper in the bathrooms, wallpaper, the borders on the bedrooms. And it may have been great in 2003.
1999.
1999. But maybe it's not the best for right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely, if you've got a property with that wallpaper on there, maybe look at some other options.
Your property conditions, you want it to look as neutral as possible so other tenants can visualize themselves in the space while keeping it updated. So usually like the turnover is the best time to do that.
Excellent. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Security deposit. That's a very nuanced topic right now because there's a lot of regulation with security deposit. I've heard a lot of misinformation out there in regards to security deposit. Typically, I think we've generally charged a 1 month security deposit. That seems to have been standard for as long as I've been doing this. We're starting to see some changes to that. Elaina, why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe what you've seen in that?
So I've been noticing between looking at different competitors, which are usually like our apartment complexes in the area, and then other things that are going in the housing market through the MLS, and speaking with prospective tenants and all this combined, I've noticed that there's a lot more pushback on the 1 month or even 1.5 times security deposit. A lot of more other apartments, especially smaller units, they're requesting a security deposit that's much smaller than the full month's rent. And I think that's just to drive traffic to them because there is very little movement in the market going on.
Got it. So they're using this lower security deposit as a lower barrier of entry to get people in
Right.
to rent the properties.
That's what we're seeing.
Okay. Sounds good. Have you seen similar, Jazmin?
Definitely. I feel like since just with the state of like the economy and things like that, tenants are very price sensitive in general, even when it comes to price and security deposit. So allowing that flexibility puts you in a really good position.
Now, there are laws right now that govern how much you're even allowed to charge for security deposits. And typically up until a few years ago, that was 2 months for unfurnished, 3 months for furnished. Recent legislation has changed that. So now it is
1 month.
It's typically a 1 month security deposit, especially if they're active duty military.
Yes.
In no way can you add or go above a 1 month security deposit. If an owner owns 2 or fewer rental properties of not more than 4 units each, law gets very specific, they can charge up to a 2 month deposit. But there's just so much nuance to it, and the demand may make that requirement a bit outdated and not allow enough traffic to be driven to their property.
Yeah.
So we're talked about how we price the property, what it looks like. We've gone over security deposit. Talk to me about FICO scores.
I think the FICO scores and the security deposit kind of go hand in hand because that's part of the screening and that's a barrier to entry, so to speak, to even applying. When people are seeing our typical right now that we do as a company, the credit score is a 675 FICO. And with that coupled with the higher security deposits, we're seeing a lot of prospective tenants just kind of gloss over our properties. Like after our initial conversation, it's always like, okay, well, thank you for the information. And they're moving on because, the barriers are too great.
Yeah, I agree with that. There are times when prospects have good credit scores, but it's just not as frequent as people who are kind of in that lower 600, mid 600 range.
So typically when people think FICO score, they they equate the lower the FICO score, the risk goes up substantially. If somebody's got a 600 FICO score, does that mean they're not going to be paying rent on time?
No.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Okay.
If they were anything like me when I was younger, raising kids and, renting and all that fun jazz, the one thing, we struggled paying our bills, but we always made sure our rent was on time, because to secure that housing. So it's not always a clear picture, the credit score of what the tenant's actions are actually like.
Got it. Okay.
I agree with that.
All right. Sounds good. So having sometimes a little bit lower FICO score may increase the amount of applicants coming in, amount of still, fairly well qualified applicants that can still pay.
I believe overall it's just opening your pool to a wider range of people.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because no matter what, that's really going to help position you in the right place when it comes to getting a good tenant.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And adjusting these criteria doesn't mean we're looking for lower quality tenants, because the same screening processes are in place. We're still looking for a landlord reference. We're still looking at their income references, to make sure they're stable, a stable tenant, a good paying tenant. They take care of the property. So lower scores, lower security deposit does not mean bad, risky tenants necessarily.
Got it. But it might mean faster cash flow and more opportunities.
Quicker turnarounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And in today's market, you might have a 2 or 3 bedroom condo. If it's vacant, that's costing the owner between maybe $100 to $130 a day.
And that adds up quick.
And that adds up fast, especially in a slow market. Pets, animals. Well,
This is a fun one.
This is a fun one. Yeah. Let's talk specifically about pets. What kind of risks do owners incur if they were to allow pets into their property?
I say it really is dependent on how the pet owner trains their pet, obviously, so that can range greatly. But some damages that can incur is, potty accidents in the house. If you have carpet, that can really cause a lot of damage, or, if they do it like on the walls or the baseboards. Also dander, if the tenant isn't very clean, gets stuck in the carpets and things like that. Scratches on doors.
Yeah. I've seen all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we allowed to do to maybe mitigate some of that? Are we allowed to put restrictions on pets?
We can put restrictions on size and how many, but we not breeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can say 20-pound maximum. We can't say no pit bulls. We can't say no chihuahuas. It's size and okay. Sounds good. In other episodes, I think we're going to go more in depth on pets with assistive animals. I don't think we'll have time to do it here, but keep listening and we'll get one of those episodes out. When it comes to pet deposit, pet rent, what are your thoughts?
With the change in security deposits, in the market in general, I'm recommending to owners that they charge a monthly pet rent instead of the deposit. That way, there can at least be an accumulation of funds coming in each month that would take care of any potential damages the pet may cause. I feel that's the best, at this current time, the best route to take versus a pet deposit.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you're charging pet rent, don't make it so high either. So really give a price that makes sense, something that's not going to kind of deter them away from the property.
Okay.
But yeah, it's better to have that monthly addition than having just like a flat deposit.
Got it. Now, if it's a deposit too, anything labeled as a deposit in California, it's refundable by law. Pet rent is not a refundable charge.
Because it's rent.
Because it's rent. Exactly. So as of right now, that's kind of where a lot of people are going, especially if somebody's military, they're putting a 1-month security deposit down. They're legally not allowed to put another deposit on top of that.
Yep.
So
They don't even have the option.
they don't even have the option. Even if they wanted to, they can't. So so when we're helping landlords kind of get their properties ready, get it marketed quicker, get it turned around, the concepts of price, condition, whether we're looking at security deposit amounts, FICO score, allowing pets, not allowing pets. Is there any of those 5 that you think make the biggest impact?
I would say probably right now it's the FICO score. I think at the moment there's probably still enough, especially for single family homes, your 3 or larger homes, bedroom homes. It's the credit score that's harder for them to get through the door than any of the other factors right now.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing.
Along with the credit scores, it's also making sure that your monthly rent is at a good price.
Yes.
Because if it's too high, no one's going to come see it.
And right now, unfortunately, quote unquote, market value can even be too high with price sensitive tenants.
Correct.
That's right. Yeah. I've seen a number of tenants, even with $100 rent increase, move out and get something smaller because they just can't go any higher.
Yeah.
People's budgets are really tight.
Yeah. Budgets are tight. So if somebody had any questions or they wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to contact you?
For me, the easiest to get through would be to send me a text message.
Okay.
And I can always, if you want a phone call, I can always call you or email you from there. But due to my in and out nature from the office, text is always quicker, and I can be reached at 619-630-4336.
Awesome.
And for me, it's the opposite. It would be email.
Okay.
I have my email on my phone home screen so I can see everything that comes in. So that would be the best way. And my email is jazminrosehomes@gmail.com. So that's JAZMINROSEHOMES@gmail.com.
All right. You got it right.
Yes.
Congratulations. Very good. Well, I appreciate everybody listening. Hopefully you had some good information. If you have any questions about getting your property managed, feel free to reach out to my team. Feel free to reach out to us. You can always find us online, www.praehomes.com. Yes. And look forward to getting any feedback that you have. Take a few minutes, hit like, hit subscribe, and take a listen to a few of our other episodes that we've got coming up. Thank you.